Well, good morning to everybody and welcome to Timeout. My name is Jack Vint, and I thought this morning I would start with a little bit of political satire, if I may, and I've entitled it All the President's Men and One Opponent. Now, I know it sounds a little bit like a book title or a movie title, but be that as it may. The other day I was watching the president make one of his speeches on television. It was a while back, and he was sweating and he was under pressure to answer all the hard questions. And it reminded me of one of my favorite television characters, the Lone Ranger. Because, you know, the Lone Ranger, he also has a mask on. But the president's mask, unfortunately, was upside down because he was in a rush. And when it got to the difficult part or the difficult questions, it seemed that all the president's men vaporized. It was like a bunch of mosquitoes running when you produce a can of doom. The only guy left standing was his spokesman. You know, like the Lone Ranger's got his trusted Tonto. And Tonto, his public speaker, was standing there next to him. But it looked like Tonto had fallen off his horse a number of times because he had seemingly lost most of his teeth. And then, of course, there was Frikkie. Frikkie was there. Frikkie is the horse trainer. Now, Frikkie believes that all viruses die in the sky. And the higher you go, the higher the altitude, and also especially in aeroplanes. It's like aeroplanes eat the viruses. The only problem Frikkie has is that it's 100% problem. He hasn't discovered yet how to kill the virus at low altitudes, especially when they're traveling in minibuses. Hence his 100% problem. And then lastly, there's the one opponent of the president. His name is Yup Yup. Now, Yup Yup says a lot of things that have no meaning whatsoever. And Yup Yup is very paranoid about everything. He believes we're all going to die, and he wants to close everything down. He's even thinking about going to the Constitutional Court to try and cancel sunrises and sunsets. Well, you know, the only thing that Yup Yup doesn't want to close are the people paying him. That office needs to remain open. And of course, the local tavern close to his house. Unless one day he needs a bit of Dutch courage when he starts to face reality. And let's hope it's soon. Well, I hope I made you laugh a bit, because the Bible says laughter is like a medicine, and we need a lot of medicine at the moment. You know, I love South Africa and I love South Africans. We are probably one of the most colorful people in the world. And hence, this is my problem. We are the most colorful people in the world. Many years ago, when I was young and people took photos, everything was in black and white. Have you ever had somebody ask you, or maybe referred to you or other people as a black and white person? Or that person is black and white. It's just an expression. And I was thinking about those photos in the early days when people took them. You know, in black and white neutralized a lot of things. You know, the cars looked the same, you couldn't see their color. The clothes looked the same, you couldn't see the color. The trees looked the same, everything was black or white or gray. So it really neutralized everything, and in a way, it equalized everything, because now when you looked at the photo, you were more intent of just recognizing who the person was. The person became the center figure, and all the paraphernalia became less important. Then something changed. They invented color photography. Now people took a lot of notice about what color jersey they wore, or blouse they wore, or pants they wore. Now they took a lot of just interest in the setting. They were peculiar about how they stood and who they stood with, and how their hair looked and their makeup looked, and everything changed because of color. Color brought in all the differences into photography, as wonderful as it was. So here's my challenge. Next time somebody asks you, Jack, how would you like us to shoot you? How would you like us to project you? In what will be the image that you would like to be seen as? Why don't you just tell them, black and white is fine. Because at the end of the day, color shouldn't matter. My name is Jack Vint. Thank you for watching Timeout. I'll catch you next Saturday.
You unravel me with a melody. You surround me with a song.